Well, hello, good morning, good afternoon, or perhaps even good evening. Thank you so much for dropping by and joining me for a very, very spontaneous session that I had not quite planned, but hey, here I am. It's one of those things. The lights are on? No, the lights are totally not on. Are they on now? No. Why not? Lights are totally not coming on. What a shame. Can we live without lights? I don't want to live without lights. Where are they? Why are they coming on? Maybe I need new batteries. I will totally go and get some in a minute because, you know, without lights, it's just too dark in the background, isn't it? I don't know why this isn't working. Oh, is this not working anymore? I'm confused. It's the correct remote, is it? Yeah, I'll get new batteries. So what I'm trying to do today is something for a little something called watch parties on Twitch. And I don't know if you've heard of them, but watch parties, let me just go and show you what they look like. This is their version of watching something together, primarily from the Amazon Prime catalog. So in order for this to work, you're going to have to be an Amazon Prime subscriber. But if you are, and many of us are, we can go and watch something together, which is really cool. We get to see the signal at the same time, and we can go and chat about what's happening. So I think the real idea is that I'm supposed to stream my full camera feed, and that'll appear above the chat. One of those things. Good to see you too, disabled American veteran. Very good to see you. So I'm not really envisioning for that to happen. I'm not also envisioning to talk about it or talk over this thing. I'm thinking I'll probably be somewhere else on a computer that doesn't even have a webcam, and then we'll just watch this together. And we can, you know, chat in text about what we're seeing. But that still requires me to send a video signal so that the watch party can be initiated. I don't think a watch party happens without me being able to send a signal. So I have to be able to do that. And for that, I need to make something that can play there. So I was thinking I'm going to go and make something in Blender that's basically like a spinning globe. And on the globe, it says something like watch party. And it just goes and you know, turns around. That's my plan. So I don't really exactly know how to make that happen, but that's the plan. And also, yes, watch parties is also the plan to make that happen at one point. I'm thinking we can watch Humans together. That's like a 3-season kind of AI British drama thing. Very, very cool. There's also one that is called The Delinquents, I think, with Stephen Merchant. Very good. It's just one season, but there's very cool things that we can watch together and just, you know, hang out and chill out together. That's my plan. Let me kick off some music, and then we can go and see if we can make this happen here, maybe with a bit of LGR jazz. Do you know what? I think that's the best thing to do. Fight off depression with creative projects. I actually find that I do get depressed if I don't do creative things. So as, like, you know, in my position as a content creator, I can't actually believe that is my job. It's very, very cool. You end up doing a lot of stuff that isn't making art. Like you do admin stuff, and you do comments, and you do Discord, and you do other kind of setup stuff, and that's all good stuff and it's fun, but you end up not making as much creative stuff as the stuff you want to make, really. And because there's just so much other stuff that you have to do. You don't have the team of 25 people to do it for you, and that is one of those things that I find takes up a lot of time that I'd otherwise spend being creative, and not doing that then goes and depresses me. Not majorly, not like I used to have it in the past, that I was a right miserable bastard, really. So I do acknowledge when I need to go and get off my ass and be more creative, because that makes me feel better. But it's often difficult to do that when you're depressed. So I totally know how you feel. Right, indeed, Daja, absolutely. Welcome. And Mr. Brian, welcome. So good to see you all. Which is also partly why I say I'm going to stream and then I'm not going to stream, because I'm just too tired to do it. So let's see. My plan was to do something like, I'm going to go delete this. I'm going to go and make a text object, just a test, and then I'll see if I can copy it on the support of a curve. So my plan was to make a text object. Here it is, and that'll probably do. I just call it text, or we're going to call it testing, just so that it's a bit longer. That's all I wanted to do with the test with the thingy object. Then I go RX90 so that it stands upright, and I think this also needs to have its little origin point in the middle eventually, but it's not quite as essential. I might just replace the font not so much B font, but you know, something else. Just go into here and be in Windows fonts. There we go. That's nice. Anything else? Anything other than this will be nice. Maybe even. Oh, I don't know. I like these little previews here that we see. That's quite cool. I'll just use something like this one here. Impact regular. Let's do that. There we go. That's my font, and I think it needs to be a little deep. So I'd like to try that out as well. And that, I think I can do that in the not so much the paragraph alignment thing. Is it something? Oh, I don't remember. It's a geometry. That's it. Offset, exclude, depth. That's it. If I put that to 0.1, yeah, I see that's not quite it. Not exactly what I meant. Resolution, object, profile. Is it profile? Is it object? It's not that. How do I make it go and come out? It's not extruding. No, it is extruding. Okay, perfect. Got it. At 5, okay. 5 is already, that's already 15 minutes. Oh, no, you're on a different time zone. Haha, right, totally get you. So in 45 minutes, I'll see what I can do in 45 minutes. And the fair woman is here. How's it going? So, that's really enough for testing my text object. I don't know if I need to put it into real geometry, but we'll try. I'll go and move it out of the way. GY, just put that over here. And Shift A, I'll go and make a curve, just a circle, like that. And that's enough, really. So what I'm trying to do is make this thing bend along the circle. But I don't remember how to make that work. So if you know how that works, do let me know. I thought there was an option by selecting that, and then I'll say copy on support. I thought that's what it was called. Copy on support. Copy constraints to selected objects. That could be it. Does that work? And then I select, no, that's not it either, is it? It could well be a modifier then. I have no idea how this works. Yes, that's exactly it. The community building over art project. That's it, yes. How do you think that works? What modifiers do we have on the text? Does it maybe need to be geometry? Let me just try that first. So I'll go and turn that into a mesh. Right, and now it's no longer a curve, now it's a mesh. And now, can I do copy on support? I see maybe copy on support was something that I remember from Hexagon, so it could well be that, you know, I'm mixing it up. If I can do it with Hexagon, I might do it that way. But I'm sure we have something here, maybe with a mysterious deform along a path thing. Wave surface deform, that could be. Add a procedural operation effect to the active object. Smooth, simple, shrink wrap, mesh deform. Add a procedural operation to the active object, that could be. Lattice hook displace curve. Add a curve effect. If we try that, the curve object could just be the circle, and whoa, there we go, that's how it works. That's how I had envisioned it, exactly. Goody. It's not bending the right way, but that might just be because the object needs to be essentially bent the other way. And I think then we're kind of then we're almost there. My goodness, that was easy. I'm not sure if this is going to YouTube yet, Callie. I don't know. Depends if it works out or not. Does it matter where the object is? So if I go in GY Yes, it does. Ah, I see, I see. So I can just do this, and then that's still the wrong way around. I'd like it to be on the outside. Is that something maybe I can do with the circle? If I go and say scale the circle and then do it that way around, does that work? That way? No, that's still the wrong way around. I mean, I could mirror the object. I'm just thinking there's probably an easier way to make that happen. What do you think? Minus 100%, that could be on this object, right? So S minus 1 essentially. And that does that. So, okay, fine. RX 180. Yes. So I'll just do that. But also I can see that the geometry is a little wonky here, but that's cool. We can work with that. I'll just remesh the object before we apply it. I could even do it now, but that's essentially that's already the secret of it, isn't it? And then we'll just move this thing around, and it'll just say watch party all the way around it, and then it'll just go and turn. And every so often, I don't know, my logo needs to get involved somehow, I think. Let's see how it works. Perfect. This is you guys had exactly the same thought, and it worked out. I like it. That is very good. So if I go and take this away now, then we're left with literally just this. Goody. Can I reproduce it? Curve. Pick the curve. It is this one here, and that's that. Cool. Well, awesome. Just so that we get rid of the ugly geometry here, let's go and see if I go and remesh this object. So if I go and look at the geometry, I can tell is not so good. But that's usually how Blender does it with these types of effects. So I can go and remesh the object, and that is not looking great. Was it blocks that works well? Octree depth about 7. And remove disconnected needs to be disabled, and then we have something like this. So there's also the scale. So this is nice. I might remesh it rather high res so that the geometry is okay, and then I'll go and decimate it again. I'm thinking, is it 0.99? Is that working better? I'm trying to make these things as smooth as possible, so it could be that blocks isn't actually... it kind of looks funky, but it's not the look I'm going for. Maybe smooth. Smooth isn't bad. If I make octree depth even higher, that is even better. I like it. Maybe then this 0.9 is enough. But let's have a look at all of them. So that's smooth and 9, and there's sharp. Hey, sharp's actually the best, isn't it? Sharp, and then there's voxel. So there we go. Yes, of course, I did it in the beginning, Darja. So I'm trying to make something that is a little looping video for watch parties on Twitch. So they are something in which we can watch a TV show or a movie together and then interact in chat. The only thing that you need for that is an Amazon Prime account, and this is what it would look like. So I'm supposed to send my full screen camera feed, and then we can watch it together, but I might not be able to do that. So I'm envisioning this for something that, you know, I sit at a different computer in a different room in which there is no webcam. So I was thinking, in order for this to work, I need to send them a video signal, and I'm going to go and make a little graphic for this part here that just is a little spinning globe that says watch parties and my logo somehow in there. And then we can go and watch something like Humans, and then we can chat about it. That's the plan. That's the plan. And I'm hoping to do that all today. That's the plan. So we got that. I'm going to go and apply the modifier here quickly. Then it's a bit heavy. And now I'll go and I suppose Blender could handle this, but I just want to see what happens if I go and decimate that object now, which is decimate this one. Decimate, collapse, undivide ratio, and we just go take that down, I think. And the downer we take it, the less dense the geometry gets. What's decimate? Yeah, that was a bit, that was not great, was it? So 0.1 is like a tenth. Takes him a second to calculate. Yes, exactly. With popcorn. I see, then this happens. Oh, that's not good, is it? Maybe it's not collapse. Maybe I'm looking for unsubdivide then. Iterations, do I have to go and count that up like 10? Unsubdivide, yes. Okay, cool. That's looking a little better. But also, as we decimate it, we do get artifacts, so that's not good either. But we've decimated quite a bit, so let's do 2 iterations. That still makes it less, but I can see ugly edges here. I can see ugly edges. Uncool. How about planar? Hello, planar. How you doing? Come on, planar. I might even be able to put a funky texture on this with Substance Paint. I haven't used that in a while. Twitter was exploding on you? That's uncool. Yeah, look at that. Now that is fantastic planar. All right. Face count. Did you see that? Now it's 432. Before that was like millions. Planar it is. So it's almost good. All I want to do is add a little bit of extra smoothness on this. But that would be ideal. So planar, let's remember that. I'll apply it. That's much better than what the regular text object was showing. So very cool. I love it. And exactly, yes, that's my next plan, Brian, exactly. And then we should be okay. And then we have a really low poly object that looks fairly good. Shade smooth. Ay, no aquí. Is a no go smooth, no. Good idea though. That's what my plan was as well. So that didn't work. How about then if we now, because we're insane, add a subdivision surface modifier? That's going to collapse the geometry, isn't it? And everything's going to go to pots now, I'm sure. I applied just before this. There were actually several steps to it. So I typed it out and then I converted it into a mesh object, and then I remeshed the mesh object. Then I decimated the mesh object, and now I'm breaking it again. Levels of subdivision. That was not good. I mean, that is, even though artistic, probably worthy of an NFT, not what we're looking for. Totally not what we're looking for. But okay, I mean, we're good, I think, with this. If I go and add the curve thing to it again, curve object is going to be the Bezier circle, and then we have something that looks arguably better. Oh, does it though? I see, it still doesn't look good, does it? Maybe I should have left it in its high-res outfit. Maybe I'll leave it high-res because it's going to be a fairly low-res scene anyway, so I might as well leave it high-res. Because I'm not a big fan of being able to see these geometries here. Can I triangulate it, do you think? Vertex triangulate, is that? parent vertex try. That's not really what I want to do, is it? No. Totally not what I want to do. Do you remember how I triangulate things? NFT Twitter, you can actually do that. They are, do you know what, Rod? If you pay Twitter $2.99 a month, have you seen that? Control T in edit mode. Okay, the Bluxfy. All right. Control T. Triangulate. Thank you, buddy. Has that made it better? No, it hasn't. It was worth a try. I'm going to leave it high res. I'm not going to do the decimation. I'm going to leave it high res. And let Blender just sweat a little bit extra. That's good. Anything to make it look pretty. How are you doing, Bluxfy? Rod, did you know if you give Twitter $2.99 a month, then you can pick something from your wallet that will be shown as your NFT profile picture. And you don't just get a circle, you get like a hexagon or something. It's totally unique. Totally unique. Callie, the E isn't the only thing that needs fixing. It's also the T, the S, the other T, the I, the N, and the G. So we'll do this high res and then we should be okay. Let me see if I can do it from scratch. So in my case, I'd really like for this to read watch party. And the circle might have to be bigger for that, but we'll get to that. Let's go and type out the text object. And we'll call it watch party with the correct spelling. And I think we've already said that we need to turn this around a little bit. RX90. And then I'll go to the text object here and I'll say, was it depth? 0.1, I think. No, that wasn't. It wasn't depth. It wasn't resolution. It was extrude. That was it. 0.1 on the extrusion front. And also we want to use a different font, I'm thinking. Not this then, but are we still having it in the impact? There we go. Impact watch party. Or should it be all uppercase? Oh, that's also text on curve. I could just use that, couldn't I? Text on curve. How about that? What if I pick that? Then we have that. Oh. Oh, also very interesting. That's almost what I want. Then I don't have to go through all the hoops of the other things. The RX90, can I do that? And no. Why would... And then it does this. It's also not quite what I want. Interesting. I didn't know you could do that. I kind of hoped it would do that. What happens if we do... Oh, that does that. And that does that. But it's not... It's not exactly what I want. So, okay, we do it my way. That's okay. We'll do it my way. We'll just do it this way. And then we'll go turn this into an object, I'm thinking. Just like we rehearsed. I think convert to a mesh. And then we're going to apply that modifier on there that we had earlier. So curve modifier. Curve object is that. And then we're almost there. So then we go RX90. No, that's not it. Was it RZ90? No, that's also not it. RZ180? Yes, that's it. RZ180. Haha, perfect. Goody, and then I think we need to make either that or the circle, either the circle smaller or the text bigger. So I go and increase that so that it's kind of doing this. How's that gonna look when we do that? Is that actually gonna be visible? Yeah, like so, and then my logo can be here, I'm thinking. That's kind of the plan. But then so that the geometry gets a little bit better, let me go and I might just go leave this in place and I'll just add another modifier to it, which is the remesh modifier. Almost, buddy, almost. That's not exactly what we want. Was it sharp? Sharp, remove disconnected, and I think 8 was what we wanted to achieve here. I see, no, it still is pretty terrible on the resolution, and that is because we're doing it the wrong way around, aren't we? We need to put the remesh before the curve. And then happiness comes back. What happens if we go and shade the smooth now? Neat. I'm even tempted to now add a little bevel modifier so that the font looks a bit nicer. If we can, let's try it all non-destructively. Oh, this is exciting. Let's try it. Let's try it. Bevel. I don't really delve into these things so much, you know. Is anything beveling? I don't really see anything. Put it here. Segments, angle, profile. I don't know, 0.2 maybe? Do we need to segment things out? I don't think it's beveling. Weight, vertex, that's not beveling. Okay, forget the bevel. I'm okay without it. I'd love to use it, but I don't think I know how it works. Edges, vertices maybe? Is that how it works? Do we make it larger? Like 1 meter is probably a bit too much. It's like the Gonzo approach to working with Blender. Or we can use an object. Width type, what else? Width, offset, depth maybe? Percent? Absolute? Anything? Nothing works. Let's go not use a bevel. I'm already bored of the bevel. I'm already bored of the bevel. So we go and my original plan was to have an object in the middle, but maybe that's not quite necessary. I might just go and leave it like this and say move this kind of in the middle here, and then just have a point light in the middle around which things can rotate. So if I go R, Z, will this... Oh no, that does this now. That's not good, is it? That's not what I meant either. Well, I'll do it with the camera. I'll rotate the camera around a center point instead. Well, I suppose now we need my logo, which is difficult because I don't think I have a 3D version of my logo. So that might make this a bit tricky. So ideally it would be kind of in here. How am I going to do that? I could just leave it flat. That would be a cop out. I haven't really thought about my logo. Maybe I'll do it in 2D. The Chris! How you doing, Mr. Chris? Floating in the middle above it. Oh, that's not a bad idea. Kelly, that might not be a bad idea. So, you're thinking here, but then how would we see it? So, because the thing is, I'm planning to, let me show you the camera that I haven't set up yet. But if we were to do something like that. Yeah, so this is what it would look like. Maybe even a bit more zoomed in. Oh, but it would just stand up. Oh, Callie, I think that might be cool. Just have it standing up there, and then just, you know, or even just project it on a cube. That could be good. That could work. Or just decaled onto a sphere in the middle. That would work. That'll work. Something like that. Decaled in the middle. Something like that. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. Let's see if we can animate this. Let's see if we can animate this. So I'll leave that out. And I'll say this is the correct point. And I'll go and add an empty into the middle of the scene. And that's going to be my... I'll make it a sphere, just a little smaller, just so that I can see it. And that's just going to be my camera helper object. And I'm going to go and parent. Is that how I do it in Blender? Parent the camera to the helper object. Can I do that? Or group it, rather. And then how do I do this again? This and that, and then I go and say Control P. Is that how it works? Object. Is that what we do? And then as soon as... Oh, it's the wrong way around now. This, then that. Control P, then that. And then I have that. But if I go and say RZ, then we do this. Yeah, that's not what I want. Camera helper first, then the camera. Control P, object. And now if I go and do that, we do that. No, that's not what I want. Blender, it's the other way around. No matter what I try. Select the camera first, then select that. Then hit Control P. Is that not how I do it? Set parent to object, yes. Follow path constraint, vertex. Object. Oh, that's wrong. No, I've selected the wrong object there. I thought empty first, then the camera with the shift. And then I'd say Control P, parent. But it always does it the opposite of what I want, no matter which object I select first. So if I go and select the camera, and now I select this, and then I say Shift P, Control P, and then now we have it. RZ. There we go. Finally got it. Dang. Didn't I just try that though? Okay, so let me try it again. I select this object first, then the camera. Then whichever object is orange, the parent is always the last one selected. So if I do first object, second object, Control P, object, then it's the wrong way around. The last object selected is going to be the one that becomes the parent. So camera first, shift select that, Control P, object, then we have the camera helper. Makes sense. In a way. In a way. Camera first, thing in the middle, then we've got it. And then how fast do you think this needs to spin? Like 4 seconds, 3 seconds? If we do it at 30 frames, if we think 30 frames, 30, 60, 120 would be 4 seconds. That would do it, right? Let's try 120 and just see what it looks like. So if we look at this and we go and put just the rotation, we're just in the market for the rotation here, and then we go to end literally like that, and then we go the Z rotation here is now 360, righty, and we say I again. Does this work? By Jove, it does! That is very cool. Now we set the interpolation to linear, and then we're almost there, and then it just keeps spinning. That's kind of cool. If we wanted to make that a bit longer, that's also fine. How do we do that again? Is that we just do this maybe? Right click on it and say interpolation type, linear, and off it goes. That is kind of cool. I do like that. That's not bad. And Kelly, I'd really like your idea to have something in the middle, and that's just being decaled, maybe just my logo. That's going to be something. I don't actually know how to do it in Blender, but we'll work it out. We'll work it out. We'll just use Substance to just slap a texture on that, I'm thinking. That is really nice. And then we just go and might make it a little slower. I'm thinking maybe the end could be 160. And just like that in Blender, you just go and move a group of keyframes and change the timing of your animation. It's kind of cool. 160 frames is actually what I want. Elvis, how's it going? Good to see you, buddy. Much excitement, exactly. Oh, Control S, I totally forgot about that. Thank you, Brian. Oh, did he? Maybe I didn't see that. What did he suggest? Veteran, tell me again what you suggested. I'm so sorry. I'm just trying to find it. Oh, trace. Good point, actually. Is it trace? I'm so sorry. I'm still trying to make sense of your username. I'm so sorry. Track heap up. Maybe is it that? Could be track heap up. That could be good. Actually, just repeat the text so that we can read it better, so that it's not quite as curved. That is also a good idea. I do like that. I think we should try all these things and then render them all out and see which one we prefer. But this one I'm going to go and save. I think that's a good idea. Good idea. Hey, thank you so much for being here, everyone. It's really nice to see you. A little bit of Blender dabbling. Let's put it in Blender and let's put it in a new folder. We shall call it Watch Parties. I'll call it Watch Party V1. I'm tempted to implement that immediately so that we have that we just have this twice. So then we'd go how am I going to do that? The easiest way. Duplicate the text object and make the circle larger. Righty, we'll do this. Then we'll go and duplicate the text object, so Shift D. And in its unshifted position, whoops, in its unshifted position, it looked like that. So I need to move it on the X to move it along. Let's do that. Let's do that on the first frame. So just GX, moving the copy over. Right, that makes sense so far, doesn't it? Then we have something like that. I actually like the gap to be a little bit bigger there. So just before I do that, let me go and make the circle just a bit larger. Like that, just so that we have that little gap that we can look at, and then there's going to be the WP Guru logo in the middle there. So like that, and then we just go GX. Hello? What? No! Oh! What happened? There. GX. And something like that. That's what you mean, right? And then, if we look through the camera now, then we need to just play with the camera a bit more, and we need to just move it back. And I suppose maybe 160 might not work so well anymore. Let's see. Camera. Could just do it with the focal length. I might do that. So on the camera settings, focal length is 50, so I can just go and make that a bit narrower here, maybe 28, and play with the height. Is that wonky? Yes, it's a bit wonky, isn't it? Do you know, I'm not sure if I like it. I mean, aside the framing aside, I do actually like the idea that there was just one gap and it would be just like one piece of writing around one circle. I think I actually preferred it the previous way. Let me go and save it as a version just so that I can get back to it. I think I prefer the first version. So I'll just call it V2 here. But I'm going to go back to the initial one that we had. Because I do like the quirkiness of being able to see the letters. Let's do that. Now, in the middle here, let me go and make a sphere object, like a UV sphere perhaps, and maybe make that a bit smaller, like that. Oh, I guess we shade it smooth as well. It looks a bit like that, like an old newsreel thing. Like a planet, you know. We'll see if there's anything like a funky little, some funky graphic we can put on there. But ideally, this is now where my logo is. Bye, Rod. Thank you so much for being here. Enjoy dinner. I hope it's going to be nice. What is for dinner? I'm always excited to hear what is for dinner. I'm just thinking out loud here, how do I put that texture on there? I can UV unwrap it and just put my put it on as a kind of a stencil in Substance. I can do that. It's actually, I don't need to even do it in Substance, but I'm thinking I kind of like to get Substance involved somehow. I mean, there is a funky plugin. I don't know if I've got it installed in 3.1, but I do have it for 3.0, I think, in which I can just go and grab Substance materials and put it on my objects. I think there was a limitation in which I can only use 3 Substance materials in total per scene, as far as I understand it. But regardless of what we're going to do, I think we're going to go and set up materials first. I think that's something that needs to happen now. So I'll call this planet. Planet. And let's go and let's do a bit of UV unwrapping. If I remember how to do it, feel free to correct me with many of these things. This is already UV unwrapped, is it? It is. Is it good though? I wonder. UV. Smart UV project. It is. I'm not sure. I think that was better before. This who's gonna be able to? That's not good. Let's leave it like that. It's cool. This then here. That I think I'd like to have in. Whew. I think I'd like for that to be in 2 material zones. Well, that is also pretty terrible, but it'll be okay. It'll be fine. I think just the word watch and the word party should maybe be in two different materials, I'm thinking. And then we can have a third material for the ball in the middle, I'm thinking. Big box of popcorn, Brian, that's an even better idea. And then we just have that. Oh, yes, Brian, I like it. I like it. Forget the globe in the middle. A big box of popcorn. And then we can maybe see the popcorn on the top. Ooh, that is great. I like it. I like it. Do you have one in mind? Don't we have one inside DAZ Studio that we can borrow? Maybe from the new cinema set. I'm sure I have something like that. Could also be one from the Cinti, from any of the Cinti sets. I'm sure they have a popcorn somewhere. That is a great idea. I'm on cue. How's it going? Good to see you, buddy. From the top of your head, do you know if there's a good popcorn prop inside DAZ Studio that we can use for a little Blender project? Let's see if I can find something that happens to be installed. Props under files. Pop. Damn you! Anything like corn? Is there anything like that? No. Dang. Let's go by product then, because I seem to remember, I might not have it installed. Movie theater here. This is the new one that I got recently. I'm sure that has a popcorn thing in there. Let's just have a look. And then there's of course the one from my intro sequence, which is the theater. Movie theater. I'm sure something should come up. Movie theater, this one here. They have a massive popcorn machine, but we're more thinking of a box of popcorn, like the one that you can put, like this one here. That's more like the box I was thinking of. Oh, come on. How about a big pizza instead? Not what we're looking for, Jay. Not what we're looking for. Oh, this, it already has tickets in there. That's a possibility. Was it an Iron Man thing, the other one I'm thinking of? I think it was an Iron Man 13. Foods of the World, the convenience store. Oh, that's the candy store. Everything's 50% off today, which is also very interesting. Polygon City has a popcorn thing. Has it now? Perfect. That is what I'm looking for then. Polygon City. Let's do that. Let's use that. They also have a big sale on right now. Polygon City. I'm sure we'll find it. There's town and then there's city. They're both really nice. Polygon City. We're totally going to grab that. Beard Goblin, thank you for mentioning it. That's exactly the kind of stylized thing I'm looking for as well. And I think I know which one you mean. It's a large sign, isn't it, on the side of a building. It's like the donut. Like this one here. That's it. That is totally it. Beard Goblin, this is totally how we're going to do it. Beard Goblin. That's the ticket. Thank you, DAZ. Epic then. Let's quickly grab that out. I'm sure, I don't know if I have it installed. I might just have to quickly make a project and just grab that out and then export it from Unreal Engine. I'm sure I have access to the source file somewhere, but where exactly? It's one of those things. I think so too, Brian. Yes, I think I own that, and I think it was available as a freebie for a month or so from Epic. I got this email this morning about the new freebies, not having realized that I've already got those. Like, I think I put them in my shopping cart like last week or 2 weeks ago. I don't remember. Time just goes so fast, doesn't it? I haven't got Unreal Engine 5 yet. No, good question. It's something I've been holding off on until the release was final. And I think maybe next time I have a serious go at Unreal Engine, I might install 5. Currently, I think I have 4.6 and 4.7 on my system. And 4.6 is the one that currently works with the DAZ bridge. Yeah, I'm sure there's really cool things on there in Unreal Engine 5. I've heard that there's a good rig now that I'm looking forward to that. I think we didn't have anything properly natively built in Unreal Engine for rigging, so that'll be nice for adjusting poses and whatnot. That'll be exciting. It's actually, you know, AmandQ, having said that, the version of the bridge that you install with the install manager, that doesn't work with 5. So that works only with 4.26. But David has his version, like on his Discord, you can get one that works with 5. So the code exists, but DAZ haven't published it on their install manager yet. That's the issue, essentially. I'll go make a new project and I'll make a third person. And this is going to be Polygon City. No starter content. We're just after one asset, really. That is a really good idea, Brian. Slips into marzipan coma. I love it. Where did you get those from? The cherry ones that you found today. Very cool. I remember, and this is our secret, right? But I think Lidl and Aldi have these extremely cheap with the cherry marzipan. There's basically marzipan on the bottom and kind of a dip of cherry on the top, or enrobed in dark chocolate. Or you have the same with plum, like I think rum and plum. Unbelievable. Unbelievable stuff. Amazon again. Oh, it could be around your corner. Yes, next time you're around Aldi or Lidl, have a look. Polygon City. There we go. Add to project. Is that convenient or what? And we're going to use the project we incidentally call Polygon City. I was thinking we should keep a few eggs for Easter. So my mom sent us a massive packet of chocolate eggs with alcohol in it, the ones that are kind of half illegal in the US. And the package arrived last week, but we couldn't help ourselves. We ate so many of them already. We shouldn't have. Meshes. Buildings, characters, environments, props. It could be a prop. There it is. SM prop large popcorn. So just a little bit of examination here. That is perfect. I totally love it. That is fantastic. This is exactly what we're going to use. See if I can remember how to get this out here. I mean, there's also the bottle of Coke and a taco. It is so cute, isn't it? Oh my god, amazing. But popcorn is exactly what we want. So, asset actions, export, check it out. Exporting things. I'm going to go and put this in my Blender project so that I remember where it all is. It was called Watch Parties. I might just make it an OBJ. I don't think it matters. I'm sure Blender can cope with either. Oh, so file import. I think it's a wavefront OBJ. And here it is. There's so many things now. Large sign, internal. Oh, it's 3 parts, is it? That's interesting. Can I import multiple? Yeah, let's do that. Might be a wee bit large, like, you know. Interesting. And then the planet here, I don't think we need that anymore if we just make it that popcorn thing here. Nope. GZ a little bit further up. That is just beautiful. And then we just need to make sure that the popping kernels are showing at the top. So I like the idea of it being a bit bigger in the middle. Camera. Focal length, there we go. So like 40, or even like make it a 36. And then I think that's really nice. That's nice. I might even make it a bit larger and just go rotate it on one axis. A little bit like so. And then maybe also make that 28. Oops. Rotating it the wrong way here. Yeah, maybe that's a bit too far away. I liked it when we just saw the letters here. If we go back to 50 and then just make that a bit smaller in the like this. This should work. Well, you know, Veteran, I'm thinking a few particle effects might be nice. So instead of just being dust flakes, it might be good to have that as popcorn kernels. But also keep in mind it'll be like stamp sized at the top of the chat, so it'll be very, very small. But with the right lighting, I'm thinking we're onto something here. We're totally onto something. I was thinking at first I'll leave it like this, but if I do leave it as it was, and I can just put the WP Guru logo on both sides, how's that? Or is that a bit too much? If it's on either side, maybe it's nicer if it's on one side only. And just plaster it on here. We don't have materials for it yet. I'm hoping we can import those. I don't know if they've been, if there are. I'm sure this is. Is it UV mapped? It doesn't look like it is. It isn't. I'd find that very, very hard to believe. It's not UV mapped? It is not. I mean, it is, but it isn't. It could be that there's just pixel shaders on there. Which would be a shame. That means I'd have to go and do it all myself. Really? How did they do it in Unreal Engine then? This is usually done via pixel shader, so it could well be that this is the UV map. And that might not be in there. Let's see which one. Matte Polygon City Texture, all one. Hello, textures. Like so, that's the one. This here, can I also just export that? That's Unreal Object Text. That's probably not what I meant. So Matte Polygon City Texture all 1A. Let's just use that. And I'll just find it and copy it into my folder here and let's see if it works. Hey, but for that we'd need access to the source files, don't we? And do I have those? I don't quite remember. Is that in the Unreal Engine project, do you think? I'll hunt for it. Because I've worked with that set before. I'm sure I can liberate the text just somehow from somewhere. And if not, since it's just pixels, we should be able to... Polygon City, could it be under Content? Polygon City, Materials, Maps, Textures. Textures, there we go. They're all UAsset files here. So they're not actually JPEGs or PNGs. Yeah, everything's a UAsset with Unreal Engine projects. Let's see if I have... Cynthia, I've got some as source files, but not all of them. Might they be on... Might they not be... on my NAS? I'm sure they are. Map Network Drive. Didn't I just do that yesterday? No then. Okay, good. Fine, that's okay. Maybe it's asleep. Could be. Well, that's a shame, isn't it? Source files, exactly, yes. And I'm sure I can liberate them from somewhere. Haven't I just recently worked with such source files? Was that from the city set, though? It might not have been from the city set. But there's also a possibility that another one just might work. Because they're all very similar, aren't they? I've got the city characters here. There's some textures here. Polygon City. Wouldn't you know? Wouldn't you know? That could work. Let me go and copy this one out. Just so that I know that it's in the right place. It might well be... It might well work. You never know. You never know. Like this here. Textures. What's the worst thing that can happen? Well, it not working. That's possible. Oh, then also we don't have the material yet, do we? It not working. That is something that could happen. As it usually does in 3D. Got the popcorn, that's just default OBJ. Gotcha. And if we just go and add a image texture into this here, like so. And then just use that. And yes! There it is! It's worked! Oh, thank you, Brian. That's awesome. Thank you so much. It worked. It worked. We don't need anything else on this thing. That's quite nice. I like it. Whew. Ah, pixel shaders. We've got that. That's great. That is so cool. I'm shocked. It just goes to show the amount of the 55 levels deep that you have to think to make something extremely simple work. That's just crazy. Thanks, Brian. Awesome. No confusion that way. So, what are your thoughts on the letters then? I mean, I'm almost thinking we could use... What's the background going to be? I'm thinking dark, something dark. If the background is going to be black or something extremely dark, then what would these letters look like? They could just be a single color for now. Should they be an alternating color, or should the word watch be a different color to parties? Could be metallic. I'm just confused for now. Maybe I'm going to go and set up 2 material zones to begin with for both the word watch and for the word party. Oh, I see. So that's watch, I'm thinking. It's not all of it in watch. There's also these things here. That's the whole word watch and nothing but the watch. So that's watch, and I'll say, I suppose, a sign. Righty. If I go this and select that, then everything's... That's terrible, isn't it? Didn't I just assign something? Is that not how it works? I do this, and I say with that, do I not then just go and say, assign that to this? Is that not how that works? And then when I do it, no, that's not how that works. Some other magic then. I always forget how that works. I'll just call it watch 2. And this is not doing anything. Gotcha. So I'll go and say this, right, is now assigned to that. Righty. So I'll go and select that. Now that works. For some bizarre reason, that's just how this works. Okay, fine. So we'll go and call this party then. Because Blender, and I'll just go and select all these things here. Because the thing is, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it, and clearly they don't, so... Twitch purple, I'm thinking as well, so that it totally integrates. Maybe something like a metallic, I'm thinking. I'm not sure if we're going to see it, Veteran. It's going to be a stamp sized. It'll be like, you know, it'll be like this small. Imagine the chat, and literally imagine the like that's. I don't think we're going to see all that much. Volumetric would be great, but I don't think we're going to see it. I'm going to assign that to party now. And now if we go and select watch, literally everything except for this face. That's awesome. We'll go and add that to there. Assign that. Not assign anything. Select that. Yes, that's watch. We've got watch and we have party. Party is that. Perfect. Alrighty. Hey, that's good. I'll go and save everything just because, you know, good to do that. V3. And now let's worry about... Let's try watch first. And I think we can use the funky material library inside Blender. Or shall I try and bring in some substance materials? What do you think? Veteran, that's not to say that we shouldn't make a larger version for, you know, the holding loop or something. I can see volumetrics working really well then, as well as particles. You know, that'd be really good to turn that into something really cool. Maybe even as a trailer for the beginning. How do I do the material library in Blender again? Where was that? Was that here? UV editing? Is that that's a palette that needs to be open, wasn't it? Was that not the case? Node Wrangler option. Is that something I need to enable? Have they removed it? Is it now called something different? Could be something different now. Could be like the asset library or whatever. I don't see anything completely obvious. Surface settings, line art. I don't remember. Do you remember material library in Blender? Or we just do it all in Substance. That's also possible. Let's do that, actually. Let's do that. Let's try this all in Substance. I think now that it's UV unwrapped, I'll just call this one here Watch Parties. Or Watch Party, rather. Let me see if I can do it. So, export as FBX, I think. I'll put it in the OBJs folder. There's no confusion then. See if it works. It's been months since I've used Substance, but I've updated it today, so let's see, shall we? See if we can even import it and do something meaningful that comes out of it. So I'm thinking it's probably file new that makes it all start, right? This I've already forgotten. Metallic roughness alpha blend starter assets. That kind of sounds good. Maybe I'll go with that. File is the one that I need to import. Blender. Watch parties. Watch party v3. Let's see if it works. I think we're going to be okay with 1K. Automatic UV unwrapping, really? Because I'm pretty sure I've unwrapped it myself. Oh, I see, I see. So the ball is in here as well, as is the popcorn. That's not exactly what we wanted. I should have maybe made that invisible. Why is the ball there? Pretty sure I've used something. Didn't I use selected objects? That's what I should have done. Selected objects, and that's fine. And why is that? Okay, cool. Bake animation. We don't have to do that. We don't have to do that. Let's try. Selected only. That's the one, exactly. So then here we'll go, and do I have to start again, Blocks5? What do you think? Or can I just replace the object, like, you know, like just refresh the... No, right? Forget about it. I'll go and do it again. Substance and I, we're not on good terms. Substance hates me. I don't care about it, and that's really not a good start. Since we're so early in the beginning, I think I thought they were. I mean, let's have another look, Brian. I thought they were. Yeah, they are UV mapped. That's my understanding as well. I thought I did that earlier. I mean, they're not that they're greatly UV mapped, but now we've got it. Now we've got it. How do I use Substance Painter again? I don't remember. We've got 4 UV tiles. Did we ask for that? I don't recall exactly. Because if anything, I only have 2 materials. Let's try aluminium insulator. I should just be able to go and drop it on here, right? It's done that. Why does it have 4 UV tiles? Does it make sense? It works, so that's good. Oh, did I tick it? Was that an option to not tick it? That might be important. I didn't see that. Let's go try again. Use UV tile workflow. Do we need that? I don't think. Auto unwrap. Do we? No. Import cameras. Shouldn't be any in there, but fine. Let's try it again. It's just, that's a very good point. Thank you. What does it say? Yes, exactly. No auto UV unwrapping. Ah, paint editor invalid scene. Mesh watch party has no UV coordinates. Well, that's a total lie. But that's what Substance does, you know. They rip you off, then they lie to you, and then that's basically the end of it. Thanks, Adobe. Thank you for your wonderful software. So my object has UV coordinates, and Substance is lying. Okay, that's fine. I'll go and export it as an OBJ and try again. I've always been suspicious of FBX. Gotta be brutally honest. I think FBX is the death of our society. In all honesty, what other options do we have to put a funky looking Blender material onto my letters? Considering that I don't really have assets that I can just, like, you know, blend files with funky shaders in it that I can grab out. Maybe I'll just go and do one from scratch then, just like a mixed shader, something like that. Which one's this? This is 3. Okay, I'll do it manually then. See if I can remember that. That's also difficult, but at least we'll get somewhere, you know. At least we'll get somewhere. shader, if I say a glossy shader, and then I'll take that out here. I'll just put that actually into mix shader maybe. Do it old school. This is the glossy shader. Oop. And then we use the was it just the diffuse shader? Diffuse and glossy, and we mix those together? Is that how that works? And pick a kind of Twitch pink, which is kind of this, I'm thinking. I'm sure we can find the Twitch, the actual Twitch color. Because I don't think it's that. Blend kit, okay. Is that, what do they do? Do they do shaders and stuff? Blend kit, I might make a note of that. Because it's always one of those things, I think, this, for me, that's the hardest part. Not being able to just open a tab, double click a material, get on with life. In Blender, it's always like, you know, the nightmare, and then you think of substance, and then the nightmare continues. It's just blend kit. I'll have a look at that. I was so happy to hear that they had, that Blender had that. Ah, thank you. Blender kit. Okay, great. Thank you, Chris. Because I was really happy to hear that they had an integrated asset library, but that's just disappeared from my version, and I don't know all that much about it either. It was nice while it worked, but it's also the nature of things that things just keep disappearing. Twitch hex color. That's the one. 6441A5. Perfect. We'll use that. 6141A5. Yeah, that looks like that. 6441A5. 6441A5. And so Blender Kit, are they also, do they do, it looks like a product where they want money from me. But it also says free models, materials, and HDRs. Nice, nice, nice. Thank you, Chris. I will look into that. That is very nice. Looks like just the thing I need. Something easy, you know. Double click material, whoopty. Yeah, so 0.3. And then I'll worry about the metallic sheen a little bit later. If I find something better, I'll use that. How come watch and party have the same thing on there? I thought they were different. I mean, I'm okay with it. But didn't I set up a different material? Wasn't I here for that? Why is this no longer working? Clearly I have a watch zone, right? And then I have a party zone. Why does that not translate into materials? What? I wonder. Does that make sense? Oh, it's the same problem, isn't it? Because by the time the modifier's done modifying things, the UVs are gone. That's the problem, isn't it? Thankfully, we only need one color. I'm so glad about that. That's just terrible, isn't it? That's just... Everything's awful. I'm gonna make the I'm going to make the background kind of darker. Doesn't maybe have to be completely black, but maybe just, you know, dark enough. That's just awful, isn't it? I mean, awful. Let's do some lighting then. Hopefully I can get away with doing this in Eevee. I mean, it doesn't have to be anything super impressive. Did we have a light here? That's the light, so maybe, perhaps, maybe we'll leave it as spotlight. Or point light rather. Point light is good. One from there, one from there, and also one above the popcorn. I'm thinking of setting that separately. Yeah, kind of one from here. Oh, where's no? I meant for that to be kind of here. And then Shift Z. Whoops. What? No. I meant G Shift Z. G Shift Z. There we go. I meant something like that. And then make that half the wattage, or even like less than that. And then have one more point light, kind of right in the middle there, just above the popcorn here. And maybe I'll make that a bit kind of warmer. I have a feeling the first light needs to come kind of behind us, because otherwise I can't see the letters, so they're all very dark. I think neither of the lights works very well. So yeah, I think this one here might need to come over here, and then this one needs to come over here. And then in order to avoid some of the harsher shadows here, the light rotates as well. Why would it do that? Oh yes, I see. So we want the lights to be also part of the fixed installation, really, don't we? I didn't think of that. So the lights need to also be parented to the camera helper, so that the light kind of changes as we do that. So I suppose we need to go and set the lights so that they look good on the first frame, then quickly parent them, and then we'll go and move that around. So that needs to be kind of here. And then this here, kind of here. So I select this and then shift that and then shift the camera helper, I guess. And then I say Control P, right? Does that work? No, that's not how it works. It's totally not how it works. Do we set the camera helper first? And then we go both lights and then we go hit P? Is that how it works? No, that's also not how it works. Good, so what worked earlier has now stopped working because that's just how Blender rolls. gotcha. That's not really... That's difficult, isn't it? Isn't it? Does that make sense? Because before we had a camera helper, then we parented the camera to it, everything worked. Now if I wanted to parent additional items to the camera helper, it now, the logic that clearly did work no longer applies when I try it again an hour later. Does that make sense? Man, I think, Brian, we're going to just go and do that. Make the letters emissive. Be done with it, because if Blender is just so impossible to work with that nothing makes sense. Why would it behave like that? Does that make sense? So bad. And then emission by itself, that needs to be, how did that work again? On the, oh, it's different, it's the wrong material, sorry. Was it? Ah, yes, right. So I'd need the other shader for that. So I'd need to. That's cool. We can do that. The principled BDSF shader. I'll just use that for that. And then the base color can just be that. How bad is that? And then I suppose we can make that the same color here. But we can't control it. Nah, I'm not thinking that looks... I don't think that looks good. Well, I'll find a way with the lights somehow. I'll somehow find a way with the lights. Oh, did I not have the... What did I delete now? Oh dear! Jace destroyed the material. That didn't go in there, did it? Oh no, it did. Okay, fine. Oh, was there emissive strength? Okay, let me try that one more time then. Not specular, it was the principled. So emission strength, there it is, Brian. Very well spotted. Very well spotted. Maybe like 0.2, 0.1, 0.01. Why is it in black and white now? Oh, because my color isn't actually color, is it? So hence I just wanted to drag in a material that looked cool rather than fiddle with 4 billion parameters. Okay, Blender hates me. That's okay. Substance hates me too. That's also okay. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with these things hating me. I'm totally fine. Error evaluating number. What's eating Blender? I'm just gonna go and put a new null object just for the lights in there and animate that just exactly like I have with the camera thing. Because once something's parented, you can never ever parent things again. Maybe there's only one parenting operations per session you work with Blender. Because I'm not making it up, right? Did we say earlier we pick the camera helper object first, then we pick the lights, and then we hit Control P, right? Because that's how we do it. But I can already see that the wrong object is selected here. Maybe it's then select both of these, then select the camera helper. then hit Control P. Absolutely, yeah, just brute force it. No other way. I'll try one more time. Does that work? No, you see now some crap is parented to one light, the one that I haven't actually selected. So it's literally the worst design on steroids. Thanks, Blender. Appreciate that. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. But it's cool. I'll just go and use a different, just use a new empty object. I might make that arrows. And I'll call it light helper. And how did I do this again? So I'm going to go and select each light, this one and that one, and then I'll select the light helper. No, that needs to be... Does that work? And then I say Control P. No, that's also not how that works. Light helper... What did I do? I set it first or last. How do I do this? Does the helper object get selected first or last? I thought it was last. I thought light, then the helper. But that's not how it works anymore. Helper first, then light, then light. Helper objects first, then light, then light. Or didn't I try that like a million times before? So if I go camera object first, then light, then hit Control P. That worked. But didn't I try that many times before and it didn't work? This is what surprised me so much, that there seems to be this arbitrary behavior in Blender, that you try it once, it doesn't work, you move on to doing it differently. That doesn't make any sense, Brian, does it? Because, I mean, this is how human behavior works, isn't it? You try something, it doesn't work, you move on to a different solution. You try that, it also doesn't work. And then all of a sudden the solution you tried first that didn't work then, all of a sudden starts working. That just doesn't make sense. Hey, I'm glad I made it work, so I didn't have to do anything. The lights now work. They move with the camera now. Let's quickly save it. Quick. Is Chris on already? I think he's streaming already, isn't he? I think so. Yes, Chris is already working. So I'm going to go and somehow come up with a bit of funky background here. I might render this out. I might just play with the... Actually, let me just do this now. Play with the size of the light sources so that the shadows are a little less harsh. It doesn't have to be anything major, but there is like radius here. If I go and make that 1 meter on either of them, just at least on one of them. Or maybe on both, like radius 1 meter. Did that actually do anything? Yeah, shadows are a bit softer. Then there's also screen space reflections. I'd like to try that as well. See if that just makes it all a bit more spectacular. And also, why do we see in the render... Why do we see... What is that? Why do we not see the popcorn? See you at Chris's, veteran. See you at Chris's. I'm totally going to rate him. Just as soon as I work out... Because not the camera helper object, is it? No, it wasn't. Not the camera helper object. What sphere is in the thing then? Has it something to do with this? That's just the default OBJ. How bizarre. If I don't render the popcorn, It's still there. Oh, there, it's the planet thing. That's it. Found it. Yeah, because these can be in here. Nope, that wasn't it either. Well, the planet thing, we don't actually need that anymore, so delete that. There it is now. Perfect. At least we have it. At least we have it. To parent object, select at least 2 objects. Child object first, then the parent object, then press Ctrl P. Brian, we have to admit defeat at this point. I'm going to go and render this out and post that later. Oh, I also need to worry about this here. I need to put something on here, but I'll maybe do that either in the next session or I'll do that off camera, and we'll go over to Chris. Hey, thank you so much for hanging. Thank you for putting up with my impatience in Blender. I just hate terrible interfaces and apps that don't work. It's just one of those things. It makes no sense, does it? Ah, Brian. Let's see if we can learn anything better from Mr. Chris. I'll see you all next time, and I'm going to rate Chris now. Take care. Bye-bye.